Hello everyone, welcome to Learn the Strategy with alphapt.com, and today we'll be learning about multiple choice multiple answers of listening module. So let's discuss what is multiple choice multiple answers in detail. For this type of question, you need to listen to the recording and answer the multiple choice question. There is more than one correct response. After listening to a recording, answer a multiple choice question on the content or tone of the recording by selecting more than one response. You will be assessed only on your listening skill. That means you'll only get marks in the listening module. The length of the audio can be for around 40 to 90 seconds. And you will have minimum 2 to maximum 3 questions in each exam. You'll get around 2 to 3 marks for all the questions you have. Not individually, but in total you will get around 2 to 3 marks. You will have partial credit scoring. That means you'll get a score for each correct response. Please remember, negative marking applies on this question and points are deducted for incorrect options chosen. By negative marking, I mean to say that if the answer is A and C, you selected A and D, you will get probably +1 for A and -1 for D, and that will become a 0. Even if you select 2 incorrect answers, the negative marking will never go beyond 0, and it will not affect any other question. How to attempt this question? The audio begins to play automatically, and you are only able to listen to the audio recording once. You need to select all the response options that you think are correct from the list of possible options. To select an option, click on it using the left button on your mouse. If you change your mind, left click on the option again to deselect it. The options you select are highlighted in yellow color. That means according to you, that is the right answer. Let's discuss the marking criteria. The score on multiple choice multiple answers is based on the following factors. Your response for multiple choice choose multiple answers is judged on your ability to analyze, interpret, and evaluate a brief audio or video recording on an academic subject. If all response options are correct, you receive the maximum score points for this question type. If one or more response options are incorrect, partial credit scoring applies. That means you will not be getting any marks for incorrect answer, and you will be getting a negative mark for incorrect answer here. This question type affects scoring of only listening. So +1 for a correct response, -1 for incorrect response. Let's discuss some important tips to solve this question. Make use of the 7 seconds. Quickly read the PTE listening questions and options. Give your mind something to focus on and understand the question. Pick some words for each option. So before the audio starts, you will have 7 seconds. Read the question within these 7 seconds and be ready for the audio. If the question is specific, for example, if it is asking about a particular day, date, year, or a person, then look for that during the audio time. Shortlist while listening. Don't just sit there and listen to the audio. Keep your eyes on the options in front of you. When you hear a word that corresponds to an option, check if it makes sense, if validates the option, and shortlist that particular option. Note down the key points. Whenever you hear a key point or an important piece of information, make a note of it. It will help you in the end. But do not focus on taking down notes. It's not necessary to note down everything to write. It's better to focus more on the audio rather than focusing on writing. So if you write down, you will not be able to concentrate. If you want some important piece of information, then it's okay, but it's not necessary to note down everything which is there in MCQ multiple answers. It's more important to pay attention to the audio and match it with the options which are provided. Finalize options in the end. If you think you have found the correct answers while listening, don't be in a hurry. Wait for the audio to finish and finalize your option and then click next. But utilize the time which is given in the audio during the audio to select your answer. Do not waste time after the audio is finished. Try to select your answer during the audio time and click next as soon as the audio finishes. A lot of students ask me if they are able to skip this particular question in exam or not. You can't. You can't skip the audio in your exam. So you rather use the time and select your answer within the audio time. Consider all options. Always consider all options. Do not skip any. You must have a reason for selecting or eliminating any option. Let's look at the example. Which of the following statements can be supported by the text?
When we accept the evidence of our unaided eyes and describe the sun as a yellow star, we have summed up the most important single fact.
So, before the audio starts, use your 7 seconds to read the question. The question is, which of the following statements can be supported by this text? Now let's listen to the audio.
When we accept the evidence of our unaided eyes and describe the sun as a yellow star, we have summed up the most important single fact about it at this moment in time. It appears probable, however, that sunlight will be the color we know for only a negligibly small part of the sun's history. Stars, like individuals, age and change. As we look out into space, we see around us stars of all stages of evolution. There are faint blue-red dwarfs so cool that their surface temperature is a mere 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit. There are searing ghosts blazing at 100,000 degrees Fahrenheit and almost too hot to be seen, for the great part of their radiation is in the invisible ultraviolet range. Obviously, the daylight produced by any star depends on its temperature, TODAY, and for ages to come, our sun is at about 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and this means that most of the sun's light is concentrated in the yellow band of the spectrum, falling slowly in intensity toward both the longer and shorter light waves. That YELLOW hump will shift as the sun evolves, and the light of day will change accordingly. It is natural to assume that as the sun grows older and uses up its hydrogen fuel, which is now doing at the spanking rate of 500 million tons a second, it will become steadily colder and redder.
Alright, so as soon as the audio is over, during the audio I realized they said hot stars are referred as ghosts because they're nearly invisible. So I think this is one. And they said the important thing about sun at present time is it appears yellow. They never said the sun continues to age and become colder and redder. And they talked about evolutionary cycle of the sun, but it's not mainly about evolutionary cycle of the sun. So that's why the answer is B, C, and D. Okay, so I was not sure about this. If you're not sure about any sentence, just select whatever you're sure about, because if you make a mistake, you get a negative marking and then you move on. Listening multiple choice questions are not very scoring but can eat up a lot of your time. It is important to manage time while practicing these questions. Thank you so much for watching our video. Follow our Facebook page for regular updates and join our Telegram group for free assessment.